All right, today we're diving deep into a topic that's, well, it's fascinating and, let's be honest, a little bit dangerous. We're talking about 5 dark psychology tricks that can be used to silently control anyone.
Just imagine for a second, what if you had a secret superpower? The ability to, practically read people's minds, understand what makes them tick, and even influence their decisions. Your boss, a friend, even a total stranger.
Now, this isn't some comic book fantasy. It's not magic. It's pure, uncut psychology. These are the actual tools used by some of the world's most effective leaders, marketers, and influencers to guide people's choices, often without them having a clue it's even happening.
But before we go any further, I have to give you a very serious warning, and this comes straight from the source material. This is for educational purposes only. The power you're about to learn is no joke, so please do not misuse it. With that out of the way, let's start the countdown.
Kicking things off at number 5, we have something called the revenge trap. And this one plays on a really basic, fundamental human instinct.
So what's the big idea here? It's actually super simple. We humans are just naturally wired to want what we can't have. You tell someone not to do something, and you can almost guarantee it's the very first thing they're going to want to do. It's classic reverse psychology, playing on our deep-seated desire to defy the rules.
And this is where it gets really clever. Look at how it works in practice. On the left, you've got a direct request. That's easy to say no to. But on the right, that's the revenge trap. You don't ask for help. You challenge their ability. By saying, never mind, it's probably too hard for you. You're not asking for a favor. You're attacking their ego. All of a sudden, they have this burning desire to prove you wrong. And just like that, they do exactly what you wanted, thinking it was their idea all along.
All right, building on that whole idea of indirect influence, our trick at number 4 is the illusion of choice. And trust me, once you see this one, you'll start noticing it everywhere, from your favorite brands to the politicians on your screen.
This example just nails it. Ask an open-ended question like, want to go out? And you leave the door wide open for a no. Conversation over. But if you frame it like this, so should we do Pizza Hut or Domino's tonight? The whole game changes. The other person feels like they're in control, making the decision. But here's the thing, both roads lead exactly where you want it to go, which is out for pizza. So here's why this is so powerful. People don't always want unlimited freedom. It can be overwhelming. We often prefer a sense of controlled freedom. By giving someone 2 or 3 pre-approved options, you make them feel empowered, like they're in the driver's seat. It keeps their ego safe. The real power isn't about forcing someone's hand. It's about being the one who designs the choices in the first place.
Coming in hot at number 3 is a technique that taps into one of our absolute most powerful emotions. Get ready for the guilt trap. Okay, just imagine you have that friend who is constantly flaking on your plans. Now, instead of getting mad and starting a fight, you could just say this. Notice how it's not a direct accusation. You're framing it as your own feeling, your perception. It's a phrase that is carefully crafted to make them stop and think about their own actions and how it's affecting you.
And that's the core of the guilt trap. You're not forcing them to do anything at all. You're simply holding up what you could call an emotional mirror. And when they look into it, they see their own guilt staring back at them. That feeling, that discomfort is what compels them to want to make it right, to apologize, to change all by themselves.
All right, we are down to the final 2. And at number 2, we have the emotional hijack. This one is all about understanding a crucial truth. Feelings almost always win against facts.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? You can sit there and present the most logical, well-reasoned argument in the world. But at the end of the day, what really sticks with a person, what drives their decisions, is how you made them feel. An emotional hijack is that critical moment when a really powerful emotion, we're talking shock, fear, love, you name it, completely overrides our rational brain. In that state, people make choices based on that feeling, not on objective reality. It's exactly why politicians try to stir up feelings of fear or national pride, because once they've got you emotionally hooked, logic kind of goes out the window. And here we are. The number 1 trick? You might actually be surprised to learn that the single most powerful tool for influence isn't about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It is the power of silence. I mean, think about this scenario. I think we can all relate. You mess up as a kid, your mom might yell, maybe she scolds you, and yeah, that's uncomfortable. But then your dad just looks at you, doesn't say a word, that silent, knowing look. Isn't that 10 times more intimidating?
It's because in that silence, your own mind starts racing, filling in the blanks with all the worst-case scenarios. That silence is heavier than any words could ever be.
In any room, in any negotiation, when everyone else is shouting and talking over each other, desperately trying to be heard, the truly powerful one is the one who's just listening, the one who's observing. Because you know what? Silence projects an incredible amount of confidence and control.
So, how do you actually apply this? Let's say you want to get the truth from someone. You could just calmly say, "I know everything," and then just wait. That silence creates a vacuum, and their own anxiety will rush to fill it, often with a confession. Or in an argument, instead of yelling back, just hold their gaze, maybe with a slight smile, and say nothing. It's incredibly disarming. It makes them question themselves and start backtracking.
So there you have it, 5 incredibly potent techniques. The revenge trap, the illusion of choice, the guilt trap, the emotional hijack, and of course, the power of silence. So what's the common thread here?
The big takeaway is this. True, lasting influence is rarely about being the loudest or the most forceful person in the room. It's subtle, it's psychological, and as we just saw, it's often completely silent. It's all about understanding what makes people tick and using that knowledge to guide things in the direction you want.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. Now that you have these tools, now that you know how they work, you have to decide for yourself where exactly is the line between ethical influence and outright manipulation. And that is something for you to think about.